Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. Today we have my very first ever Warhammer 2 online multiplayer battle. And you guys know how much I love goblins, so of course I'm immediately going to be going with um, the Skaven, who are essentially just goblins on crack with cooler things. Um, so I am going up against the Dark Elves, and oh God, this what an introduction to the game. So I'll go over my army. Um, I have some plague monks just because they were cheaper. They do have this anti-infantry bonus, so you can see they'll be decent, I guess, against most things. I was just really worried about armor, but these guys don't have armor. But whatever, that's fine. I figured they'd still do pretty well, and I'd be able to summon Skaven in the back lines to kind of do a lot of the real damage. We can kind of watch as some of these guys get lanced by my warp lightning cannons, and oh man, are these warp lightning cannons maybe my favorite thing in the entire game. So I've got one of them. They're right here. These guys are super cool. They're great against Cav, which is kind of the Skaven's weakness. And then I do have one of these Plague Claw catapults, who are just great against the elves in general because they have such low model units that each, when it does hit, you really take out a good chunk of models. So I think artillery is just a must-bring on Skaven, and especially against the elves. So you can see I do have mixed in these Plague Monk Sensor Bearers who do have the armor piercing, but they are very expensive, so you can't really use them as a main line. I've got a Rat Ogre Warlord with an Assassin to kind of run around with him. And then I've got a Plague Priest over here with just the, I believe, just the Summon Skaven abilities. Because really, why would you bring anything else when you're Skaven? I've got 2 units of Clan Rats with shields out on each flank. I do have some Clan Rat Spears here guarding my artillery. I do have 2 units of Skaven Slave Slingers. These guys are just 200, and they're so cheap, and they give the enemy a target to attack other than the back of your infantry, so I think they're just great distraction, and then if you ignore them, they're useful as well. And then over here I do have some Poison Wind Globadiers. So you can see I have kind of 2 different, I have these guys and I have my Warp Lightning Cannons. They're really my only anti-large, and you can see these are the anti-large variant. So this is a very haggard army from my opponent. You can see he's got some Dark Riders with shields. He's got some shards with great swords. These guys are just terrifying. They do so much damage, and they're so good in melee too, but they are pretty expensive. Look at that damage. He does have some Cold One Dread Knights back here. These are the armor piercing, not anti-large. And then he's got a huge main line of these Black Ark Corsairs with Handbows. And so this was not what I was expecting at all. So you can see these guys do have 80 armor. So even if my troops do get in contact with them, they won't be doing that much damage. And you can see they do have that fire whilst moving, so they can shoot an arc around themselves. Over here he's got some Cold One Knights with the spears for anti-large. He's got some more Cold One Knights, some more Cold One Knights, and some more Dark Riders with shields. So lots of cav, and then a skirmishing front line with Malekith on a chariot, a Cold One chariot. So very hard to pin down, and you got some magic there. Nice combo lord. So anyways, I'm going to be opening fire on these Cold One Knights with my Warp Lightning Cannon. You can see I'm being shot in the forest. I'm kind of okay with that. I don't really know what to do. This was not what I was expecting. So you can see these Dark Riders coming out. I try a cheeky charge with my Clan Rat Spears, but you can see he's done a nice job retargeting onto these Plague Monk Sensor Bears. So you can see they're going to take a lot of damage. These guys are not armored. Doesn't really, yeah, these guys don't even have armor piercing, but they're not armored, so these guys are basically the ideal counter to my dudes. You can see my Warp Lightning Cannon is firing in though, and it's going to, you can see they're getting one of them. It's going to do some good damage against Cav, just because it's kind of like a Luminarch in that way, because it can take out their models, and it's pretty accurate even while they're moving. So over here you can see I do catch these Dark Riders, which is a nice boon. Just any free kills I can get, because these Skaven slaves suck. And then over here he's getting some nice charges of my Clan Rats with spears, but that's why you always keep Clan Rats out on the side to kind of tank those charges. Over here you can see my Warlord just trying to run these guys down. He's really one of the only fast units I have. Over there you can see those Cold One Knights are out of control. I do have my Plague Priest over here helping, and my Plague Monks, and they're being shot by my Warp Lightning Cannon. So doing a nice job, I think, kind of isolating that one unit, but you can see my front line, especially my Plague Monk Censer Bears, are taking a ton of damage, and then these Plague Monks are almost dead themselves. And then he just gets in the back, and I really feel like there's nothing I can do here. I can't let these guys do whatever they want, but I also just, yeah. So anyways, I'm just trying to survive. You can see my very expensive Plague Monks, zero kills. Very sad, but you can see some Clan Rats going to come over here, disrupt these shades. Then you can see I think I'm spawning some more over here. My Poison Wind Globadiers are gone. I did deal with these Dark Riders with some of my spears in the back lines. So my artillery is pretty safe. My Skaven Slingers are doing okay. But you can see over here my Warlord almost routing. Just fighting these Black Art Corsairs with the Handbows. He did get shot a lot. Then over here you can see my Plague Monks are routing, and I do have my Assassin over here, who's just kind of running these guys down, trying to catch them. And then you can see over here, Plague Monks, I did summon some more, so hopefully they can get into combat. My Skaven Slingers trying to do some damage over here. Nice wind spell, slaughtering my Skaven Slingers. Then you can see I do pull out my Rat Ogre. I realize he's taking too much damage. And then I get a nice rear charge in here. And then these Cold One Knights go berserk. So they can't run away from this fight anymore. They're stuck in, which is very, very good for me. Over here you can see these Shades are just slaughtering my Clan Rats, which is to be expected. But over here I get a nice rear charge with my Plague Monks. And you can see again just these Knights rampaging. So I'm actually going to be able to keep them in combat, which is really going to be the savior here. And then more Clan Rats coming out. I'm just trying to stop these Dark Riders from being able to run away, try and do as much damage as possible. You can see I really haven't touched Malekith yet. I've dealt with a lot of his cav, just like from inundating with like tons of Skaven slaves and stuff, Clan Rats. Over here you can see my Assassin is just, you know, these guys aren't really going to be able to hit my lone hero Assassin while he's in a blob. Because he's not a large target, so he's going to do okay over here, but you can see he's taking a lot of damage. He's not really meant for that, but he is holding down 3 units over there, so he's being kind of cost effective. Then over here you can see my Warp Lightning Cannon is trying to turn on Malekith, because I realize I need to deal with him, especially with my Rat Ogre so low. But you can see these guys are coming back. They are rampaging though, and I'm a little worried because these are the anti-large variant, so I'm going to run my Rat Ogre away. You can see these Handbows just being so annoying, these Shades. I really just can't, I can't dictate the resources when there's all this cav around without sacrificing my artillery. So I'm kind of just letting them shoot, letting them do whatever I want, trying to catch this cav. Then over here you can see I do spawn some Clan Rats to just break the charge. That works pretty well. And you can see my Rat Ogre is now going to come in and try and hit them in the back. And you can see my Plague Priest going over here to stop these Shades. Ooh, let's see if I get any good shots. But you can see one of my saving graces is he left these guys over here. So you know, that's 3 units that aren't in this main combat, which is allowing me to kind of take out these Dread Knights. But you can see it did do a number on my Assassin, who's coming in here in the back on these Handbows. And then over here, yeah, you can see, oh man, look at that damage. So good on Malekith. Any damage I can do is good damage. You can see my Plague Cloud Catapult focusing on these guys. Dread ones, looks like they routed. But you can see my poor Plague Priest is not going to last long over here. It's a little too much. A lot of my stuff is routing. I do have really just Clan Rats, Clan Spears, Clan Spears. You can see Warp Lightning doing its job. But I really don't have much left. Just my artillery. My Plague Priest is going to route here forever. I've got some Skaven Slingers over here, and that's why these guys are annoying. You just can't leave them. I do have that Assassin over there. I think he is fleeing now, but he should come back. And then over here you can see I'm dealing with these Shades finally. You can see Malekith taking a little bit of damage. Some Clan Rats are coming over here to deal with the Black Art Corsair. Oh man, look at that. Just like cutting their way through Skaven. But anyways, yeah, you can see my Slingers just being annoying, kind of getting in the way. Malekith is in the trees now, and he's decided, I think, to slaughter my clan rats and make sure my plague monk, my plague priest goes away. So now I don't want to waste my ammo on trees. I need to turn my artillery over to this guy, this blob. There you can see my plague priest is routing. And you can see my clan rats is just buying time, trying to get them away so I can shoot at them more. And you can see it's not doing the worst damage, like slowly, and my Skaven slaves are just, I just shot at myself in the back. But you can see Malekith is over here. He's going to go chase off that plague priest. And you can see though my plague claw is running out of ammo. My warp lightning has a decent amount left though. You can see my Skaven slaves just so annoying. Just taking up ammo, essentially. You just gotta, like, think about them. That's the problem. They're, like, 200. They're really not even worth it. But if you don't, they'll just shoot you in the back. That's my favorite thing. Then you can see all the while this is happening, just shooting. You can see some cold ones coming back, helping to run down my clan rats with spears. Or, sorry, dark riders. And then, so yeah, you can see Malekith over here, making sure that Plague Priest gets off the map, which is a great move. He's still got his shades over there. You can see these guys are just taking a beating from my artillery. Let's see if I get any good shots. You can see I'm sending forward my Skaven slaves. Oh, man. Just like tore through. Oh, that was a bunch of good hits. You can see these guys immediately start routing just because of that artillery fire. Damaged by artillery and then discouraged by the Plague Claw catapult. It's going to rout these guys, which is huge because they still have a decent amount of ammo left. And you can see how low my Warlord is and my Assassin. So now you can see I'm just going to... These guys are routing. I realize I need to take this chance to take out Malekith. You can see up here, point blank shot from the Warp Lightning Cannon. Good old Skaven crew fighting to the end. But Malekith is going to like pull out. I think he's going to recharge back in. You can see I'm trying to let him not get a charge on my heroes. Because I really don't want my Warlord to like rout. You know, at the wrong moment. And I realize that I have this Warp Lightning Cannon. I really need to use it if I want to win. You can see they did break one of them. But I still got two. See these guys spinning around in circles instead of shooting. Doesn't make me upset at all. And these Skaven slingers just I don't know, how are they even doing damage? Just like 2 damage. Oh, and then a miss. Ooh. And so you can see my rat over here is going to just charge in. You can see I do have my assassin. You can see Trophy Hides there, dropping his melee defense to 0 and his melee attack to 4. Like, what can he even do? He's getting shot by those guys. Oh, and the Warp Lightning Cannon is going to take him out, and that is definitely where it's going to swing in my favor. I really don't have anything left. I just have artillery crew and a rat ogre. And I'm going to take the day. Very lucky. Very close game. You can see these shades, 221 kills. Black Ark Corsair, 150. The Cold One Knights did not do very well. I probably wouldn't bring Cold One Knights just because Skaven don't really have too much armor, but I guess you could expect Storm Vermin maybe with swords and shields, and then these Cold One Knights would pay for themselves. And then the Dread Knights, I don't really know what the difference is there. But you can see Malekith, 241 kills. But definitely MVPs, Warp Lightning Cannon with 2 XP chevrons, Plague Claw with 1. And I think I vetted up my own, these guys. But yeah, you can see just really no kills on anything, except my artillery. And I guess just vague kills everywhere else. But definitely interesting build there. Definitely something you have to watch out for because those Black Ark Corsairs with Handbows are decent in melee, and they have the armor, and they just like such a natural counter to a lot of the elite Skaven infantry that doesn't have armor. These Handbows, you don't even need armor piercing really to deal with Skaven. So these guys are just a great pick, and I really think this is going to turn into like the meta, which is gross. Just a bunch of Skirmisher Cav and a bunch of Black Ark Corsairs with Handbows. And really, I think if he had just been a little bit more patient with his Cold One Knights and a little bit more deliberate with his Black Ark Corsairs, he easily could have taken that battle. But anyways, great game to Napoleon, a great introduction to Warhammer 2, and I've got a number of videos coming out for you in the future. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and that's that.